Welcome back to the GSL. I'm Tasteless, and with me is Artosis. Together with Tastosis, the cast and Archon. And for the record, I've noticed some people can't spell Tastosis right.
Yes.
Tastosis. There's no E. That was a terrible idea for us when we merged that name.
Tastosis? No, Tastosis.
No, Tastosis.
That wouldn't
Are
be...
you going to find our highlight videos on YouTube if you can't spell the Archon's name right? Think about the stuff. So, we've already seen two Protosses advance out of that all-Protoss match. It was Huck.
Yeah, the odds were that two Protosses were going to come out.
And then one
group.
Protoss would go down, and our predictions were correct.
Yeah.
So that's good. But now we have two Zergs and a Terran. I'm
thinking a Zerg is definitely going to advance. The next player may be a Zerg or a Terran.
Almost 100% chance a Zerg should make it out of this group since two make it out.
Hydra throws his drink at the screen. He's like, no Zerg will make it out of that group.
We're going to have IMNesTea against LeenockfOu. Now, LeenockfOu is a very, very good Zerg, but
Kid should have never fallen down,
is a very, 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 very good Zerg. So, that was about 6 berries for IMNesTea. With Leenock, only 2 berries.
Is IMNesTea.
Yeah. So, head-to-head here. I don't know if Leenock can beat IMNesTea, but Leenock's exhibited some pretty solid ZVs. He eliminated Jelizer, I believe, in one of his previous matches. Did he? Did I just say something terribly incorrect?
I don't think so. Wait.
No, I mean in a previous up and down. Well,
no.
I said something completely incorrect on live.
That's okay. Let's brush over it, Liz. If it never happened.
Time to move on. That's all you can do is just keep broadcasting, no matter how bad the mistakes you make are.
We haven't actually seen a ton of ZVZs lately, especially IMNesTea ZVZs. For quite a while, ZVZ was understood fully by IMNesTea and no one else. He was like 2.5 levels above anyone else in understanding, just crushed everyone. No one came close to beating him except for Sen. And IMNesTea was holding with like builds that shouldn't have held. It was like watching Jadong ZVZ.
Yeah,
it's like,
he's really
this
good.
guy like completely, his brain encompasses this matchup. He gets it. Now, has that changed? We don't know. Have other people caught up to that? Has IMNesTea kept up with it? Because obviously ZVZ has grown since those days.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to just wait and see that. I think that IMNesTea, I know that IMNesTea is a big favorite in this first match. And then Marine King Leenock, that could be quite epic. Leenock always has very epic ZVTs. This guy doesn't end it early. He plays macro games.
Now, Marine King Prime, of course, you guys know who that is because we've seen so many amazing games from him. He has been in the finals twice and got silver medals both times. But he's somebody who he's got such a unique style, very harass-based, really open to the idea of doing a base trade. That's going to be pretty cool to see him against one of these Zergs here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at LeenockfOu. Like that picture. He is, as you can see, he's faced some very, very formidable opponents. I feel like this is a guy who's always supposed to be in Code S, but just had to face people that were so good he actually managed to get bumped down.
Yeah, I really felt like he should have been in Code S nonstop. He's definitely one of the better Zergs in the world. Just a very solid player, and he's so young, Tasteless. He's such a little youngin'.
He actually still is in school, high school.
I feel like this is actually someone that we are all going to just watch and be like, no, dude, I liked Leenock back in Season 1 and 2.
They're going to be hipster nerds out there.
Yeah.
I was a fan before he became a Bonjour.
Yeah, but literally, I think that's where he's headed. This guy, obviously, as we see here at IMNesTea, he's right now the best Zerg in the world, but as time goes on and older players retire and new players come up, Leenock is only going to grow, and I think eventually, without doubt, one day he will be the best Zerg player in the world.
Well, he's starting young, and we could basically get our youngest guy in the GSL against... Is IMNesTea our oldest, actually? I think...
No, Slayer's Boxer.
Oh, no, that's right. Okay, so but IMNesTea is one of the oldest.
Oh, certainly. Like maybe fourth?
Yeah.
Third or fourth. There's actually so many oldies.
You know what cracks me up is all these guys, these guys will just believe anything they were told back at StarCraft 1 when some of these people be like, well, when you get to a certain age... your hands aren't fast enough to be a pro gamer. I'm like,
yeah, that's not true.
If you believe that, you are so dumb, you'll believe anything you're told. Because there's a reason why you can have a pianist, somebody who plays a piano, in his 50s and stuff. I mean, unless you're going to get arthritis or something, of course your hands can move fast enough. But, these StarCraft 2 teams are proven you can be,
Yeah, man, the old guys.
In the 30s, you'd still be a pro.
They have been some of the best players. Now here's Marine King, you see there. One of the best Terrans. Very stylistic. tried to really break his style during the group phase of GSL this past season, and it didn't work out so well. He was doing silly stuff like, well, you can go Siege Tank, Marine, Medevac against Protoss, but you don't just make like 4 Siege Tanks, 4 Medevacs, a handful of Marines, be like, this is my timing, I'm going across the map. No, dude, that's actually not, this isn't TVZ, this is TVP. It requires different playing. He really, coming out of his style did not work for him then. Maybe he's improved upon that. Maybe he'll use his own style a bit more. Of course, he's only going to be playing TVZ today. And his style that he plays in that really hasn't gone out of fashion.
No, he does just fine.
So he should be fine.
It's too bad in that video we saw of him, what was it, against Inca, where he sieges up his siege tanks, and he's like, I should be able to hit his banelings from here. And then Inca's like, I'm Protoss. It just comes in there and kills it and runs it over.
That's what it was,
That's
man.
what that looked like.
That Xel'Naga game broke my soul.
Me too. My soul's broken too.
Good. I don't want to have a broken soul alone.
We're in Archon.
Now that our souls are broken, we can take your part and my part and merge them together.
You want to know how much of an Archon we are? Is that he just got a tooth pulled, and I'm starting to think I just got a cavity, and I might have to go get that filled, probably after the Team League Finals. Whoa. Weird coincidence? Well, we're in Archon. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
The map lineup is going to be Xel'Naga Caverns, Crossfire, and Metalopolis. This is a pretty diverse map set. It's one that, there's all sorts of builds you can do on these maps. Too bad we don't have Scrap Station. I love seeing ZVZ on that. But,
what? ZVZ Scrap Station, like, being a player that has played 1,000 ZVZs on that map. Oh, you may like it, man, but we don't like to play it. It is not fun.
See, what I like about
that
it
is the definition of not a fun map, ZVZ, okay?
I'm so sorry,
like, get out of here!
Get out of there and throw me off the stage. I like it. Can't take that away from me. So Xel'Naga Caverns, this is a classic StarCraft 2 map. It's been there since the beta, since the beginning. And I think it's going to make for a pretty interesting Zerg versus Zerg. So let's take a look at our players now. Again, this is the up and down matches for Code S. These guys are fighting to be in Code S next season. If they don't make it out of the group, well, then they go down to Code A and got to fight to just stay in the GSL. Now, on the left is LeenockfOu. Very young, very talented Zerg. On the right, you know who that is. That's IMNesTea. He is as old school as you and me are, Tosis. This guy is old school. And he's owning.
He is, Stasis. Old for the win, man. Oldies but goodies. That's what we are.
That's right. Now,
I just imagine, like, all of us, like, finally when we retire with our canes and holding our backs as we hunch over and walk the table, we're like, well, our hands are finally not quick enough for StarCraft. Get out the breach set.
Play some Sudoku. The countdown started. So there's no turning back now. A lot of pressure on Leenock. I think this guy's had the hardest hands dealt to him in GSL history. And that hasn't changed for this match, that's for sure. Let's see if there's going to be an upset. Leenock will come out on top, or if IMNesTea will do what everybody's predicting will happen. Win this and move on to Code S. In the red, we have our first Zerg player. He is LeenockfOu. Getting in the zone, and now
Bangyanga Titi.
Crying face. Over here in the bottom left, we have the champion of GSL Season 2, probably the best Zerg in the world.
IMNesTea.
Extractor trick over here for IMNesTea. Thank you, Intel and G-Skill, for making this event possible. Oh, and Coca-Cola, too. Coca-Cola, you guys are cool, too.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, it's time, Tasis, to divine which builds these guys are going to use. Of course, there is that kind of rock, paper, scissors type of thing. You can go hatchery first, but if your opponent goes like a 9 pool with a queen and just pumps lings, you're dead. And if you go for that and your opponent went, let's say, gas pool, then you're dead. Because obviously he has like 4 more drones than you in this units. So it looks like both of our players are going to go hatchery first builds.
Looks like thus far their builds basically mirror each other.
Well, Leenock getting a quicker gas.
Yeah, okay. Here is a spawning pool for NesTea. Now, Banelings can play a pretty big role if it starts to be a ling-intensive game because, of course, one Baneling can kill an innumerable amount of Zerglings. At the same time, though, if you get Roaches out, Banelings are not so good against Roaches. So there's sort of this interesting balance you have to have. And, of course, if you have a few Roaches out and they have a ton of Zerglings, well, then you're going to run them over. So,
yeah, can be a funky matchup at times, Stasis. And, of course, the late mid to late game, Infestors become the unit of choice along with Roaches.
Good. Yep.
Infestors actually just so insanely good in this matchup.
Well, you can catch Mutas.
Yeah, well, that's
and
why
just raffle stomp them.
You almost never see Mutas anymore. Very, very few Zergs will
that's
ever
actually
go
been like phased out in the metagame.
Yeah. It's just... Sorry, Mutas.
Sorry, man. You guys are like the bell-bottom jeans of fashion.
Think that bell-bottoms or Mutas will ever come back, Tasis?
Maybe, man. You know, they say that fashions move in 30-year cycles.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do we have to wait 30 years for Mutas to come back?
Now, that's what we don't know.
We might be on StarCraft 3 by then.
Yeah, we might be StarCraft 5 or something.
StarCraft 30 years? Blizzard?
All right, Baneling Nest on the way over here.
Very quick speed-in Baneling Nest from Mr. Leenock. NesTea, on the other hand, is going to be getting a Roach Warren, Tasteless. Right now, similar counts and drones, 20 each.
Now, on paper, it would look like NesTea's build should be a little bit better than Leenock's, but simply because, Roaches are fairly strong against Banelings. But he did see that Roach Warren, so...
Yeah, and let's not forget as well, that's very, very important that Leenock actually gets to scout it, but let's also not forget how open the expansion area is. In fact, Leenock canceled his Baneling Nest and went for a Roach Warren because he is really, really good. Now,
go ahead.
With the expansion so open, though, as I was saying, getting that quicker Zergling speed in the Banelings, he may have been able to get something done. It's Roaches just are not as fast as Speedlings. Just a fact, Tasteless.
Fun fact, guys.
You can have opinions, but not about that.
Fun fact, cows have 4 stomachs. All right, NesTea splits in here, sees the Roach Warren. Wouldn't it be funny if he canceled that, made a Baneling Nest again? No, the Roach Warren completes. It's pretty tough to stop his scouting Zergling and Zerg versus Zerg.
Tasteless right now.
Yep.
Leenock at 33 drones, 29 for NesTea. And that makes a huge difference. ZVZ, when you don't just counter each other's units, it comes down to who can get some extra drones out there. And so far, Leenock just slightly ahead in that, even though NesTea has just made it a lot closer, 30 against 33 now.
It burns, Roach Acid. And what do we have here?
Evolution
Chamber.
If you want to get those upgrades going.
So the Zergs do believe in what Darwin said. Now, we have the Zerglings rushing through here.
The evolution chamber theory. The theory that with
I don't know if
chamber,
that works.
Your units become better.
Well, I don't know,
over
man.
time.
That theory makes a lot of sense. You can't prove it. Oh, no, I think you can, actually. Evolution chamber over here, too. So both these guys Darwinists. Sorry. Now,
I wonder what Brother Mac has to say about evolution chambers.
Now, getting 2 means he's going to have to cut back on drones slightly, but if this goes into the late game...
Ooh. NesTea. Oh. This is actually quite a difference. We see a layer going up for Leenock. NesTea, on the other hand, double evolution chamber. So it looks like NesTea is going to stay with a